What's up, guys? I'm going to give you a full walkthrough of Propstream, how I use it, why I use it, and really just a review and a tutorial all at the same time. And the reason I'm going to do this today, by the way, I'm Dave, the Military Millionaire, if you didn't know. But the reason I'm doing this is because I've been talking about Propstream in a couple of my videos on systems for how I'm finding and comping off-market deals. And I had a couple of people ask me how to use it, and I was going to do a Zoom call and show one of them yesterday. And then I was like, I should probably just do a tutorial. How about I do that? So here we go. We're going to dig right in. So the first thing you're going to do is go to propstream.com. If you don't have one, you're going to click this 7-day free trial. Use the link down below, and I believe that actually becomes a 14-day free trial. I can't honestly remember. So if that's false advertising, please don't kill me. But hey, it's an affiliate. It helps me out. It helps you out. Either way, once you're signed up, you're going to log in. You're going to use whatever your information is to log in. And then you're going to let it load. Sorry about the little jump cut there. I realized that I needed to make this a larger screen that I was covering in order for you to see all of the aspects of Propstream. But once you log in, this is what you're going to get. Now, this is not my market that I'm normally in, and the reason for that is that I wanted to change things up and play around with this in an area that, so I grew up here, but I don't know anything about the actual real estate market really here. But this is Little Rock. We're going to zoom in a little bit. There's a couple of ways you could do this, right? So you can go here. You go over here to searches, right? And so what you can do is you can search by drawing an area. So like you click, 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 whatever, however you want to mess with this, right? There's a lot of different ways you can search an area and then you click search. But in this case, what we're going to do is we're just going to type in the state or the city. And you can search by zip code, you can do all kinds of stuff. But this just searches for Little Rock. And you'll see over here that we have 99,563 properties pulled up. Now, there's a couple of things you can do here when you're looking for lists, right? So you can look at, these are all the ones that have high equity. I believe that's 30% equity or more. These are all the vacant properties. These ones have liens on them. These ones are owned by a bank. These ones are pending an auction, probably, already foreclosed on. These are pre-foreclosures. These are currently listed for sale on the MLS. And then this one, cash buyers. Now what's cool about the cash buyers list is that you can take this and you can kind of go through and say, hey, if I'm going to buy a house in this area, whoever this number 22 was bought by somebody for cash. So what you can do is you can actually export the cash buyers in your area and then take, like I took out everyone who hasn't bought two. So if they've bought at least two properties cash, I kept them on my list and then shrunk it from, got rid of all the duplicates. And that was my list of people who buy or have bought multiple properties cash. I consider them investors, and I then reached out to them to see if they wanted to be on my buyers list, which is a cool little trick. But what we're going to do here, we're going to go away from the cash buyers. Let's go back to like high equity. Actually, let's just clear all the filters other than the city. And I'm going to show you some cool stuff about filtering for pulling lists. So you go down here to filter, right? You have all sorts of options you can play with. What I want you to see is as we do this, see how the number changes, right? So that's unique properties. 99,000 people or properties in this area. So how many of those are absentee owned or not owner occupied? 43,000 are absentee, all right? So here's a vacant. 2,400 are vacant. Of those, 1,900 are absentee. So those are probably landlords who do not have tenants right now. So there's a lot of ways you can play with this. Now as we're going through this, we're gonna go back through. You can go through and do some interesting things right here. You can pull, let's say you pull, let's go zombie properties. No matching zombie properties. But hey, here's pre-probate. Somebody died recently, 1,370, probably going into pre-probate. All right, so look, here's a list that a lot of wholesalers or wholesalers will tell you to buy. So you're going to go absentee homeowners, right? So people who do not live in the property. You're going to come down here to valuation and equity info. You want to go to equity. You can go estimated equity dollar amount, or you can go percentage, so 30% to 100%. There's 39,000 people with high equity that are absentee homeowners. Now that's a lot of people to mail to, so you're probably going to want to spend some time figuring out how to whittle that down. So let's go away from that. Maybe we go to, you can go to the ownership issue or ownership, and you can get rid of trusts and corporations. You can make it just annual. You can do something that was, only transferred from one family member to another. There's 66. That was probably someone who passed away or inherited. You can go back to, you can pull pre-foreclosure information. You can pull MLS status. Now here's a cool one. Check this out. This is one of Ryan Dossey's favorites, and I like this one a lot as well. So you go here, and there's a better way to do this list, but this is just a cool way to add to this. So you click on failed listings, and you got 567 homes, right? Unique properties that are absentee owner. They have at least 30% equity, and they had been someone had tried to sell them at one point and failed. That's what that means. And so for record, if you click on 817 Lewis and open this up, you can see the property is 817 Lewis Street. They live at 18525 Dallas, so this is the address you would mail if you were trying to get a hold of them. And you can see right here, they listed it September 9th, and it failed. Now that's kind of weird. That's an anomaly. Let's look at like 34 Harrow. It's kind of strange that some of these are. All right, well, oh, that must be the date they pulled it down. Yeah, days on market, 89, they pulled it off. So it makes you wonder why it didn't sell. But what you can do here is you can find ones that were much older, didn't sell. And then if it was a 2017 and they tried to sell it, maybe they'd be willing to take the same amount right now for that property, but it's actually gone up in value. So that's just kind of a trick of the trade. So you go through here, you mess with, let's take out the MLS status. You go to property characteristics. So if we want duplexes, or, there's 5+ units, there's 365. You want single family, there's 16,000. You want a dairy farm? No. So that's why you need to check which one you want, because you don't want to have like a poultry farm factored into your search results, right? You can do classifications, you can do residential, you can do commercial. You can even go in here and say, hey, I want a minimum of 3 bedrooms, single family home, that's at least 1,000 square feet and was built, I don't know, 2,000. So there's 273 homes that meet that criteria. So the point is, you can kind of go through and do, right now we have absentee owner, single family with 3 or more bedrooms, 1,000 square foot house built in the last 21 years with at least 30% equity. There's 273 people in probably pretty nice homes that are absentee owned. And if you really wanted to get crazy off this one, you throw back on the failed listings. There's 14 nice homes recently built. Like here's one listed for $1 million and failed after 88 days. So like, oh, and let's just to get crazy, you can then see the MLS listing photos. Well, usually. There you go. That one only has one picture. No wonder it didn't sell. What in the world? Little Rock, get your game together. There we go. This one has 159 pictures. So you can just kind of click through. And the reason this is cool is when you're doing comps, you can see like comparable, homes. So just to add to this, right? So I told you guys I was from this area. I'm going to go comp a house, but I'm going to comp a house that's like kind of near where I lived. So I grew up, you got Little Rock. I grew up over this way. Probably zoomed in a little too much. There we go. So I'm not going to tell you which house was mine per se, but I'm in this area. So we're just going to pull up this one right here. This is 7611 West Ridge, Roland, Arkansas. And this is not a property that meets any of my criteria. If you really wanted to dig down and find like a super niche property, you could. But I just kind of wanted to show you. So like if you click analysis, it'll let you run through and you can do what would your mortgage be at whatever amount? What would your income be at whatever rental? I don't really play with this. I know these pretty well, but this works. So here's some analysis stuff. That's cool. But this is the money right here, details. Now there's a couple reasons this is money. One, it's owned by a living trust. Here's the address. It gives you all the owner information. Here's a comparable, right? So this is, if you wanted to do, you know what? I'm going to find a different property, actually. As cool as it is to go towards my neighborhood, let's find something that's like where there's a lot of houses, or at least a decent amount. There you go. All right. So here you go. Pull up comparables. There's 37 homes that have sold in this area. Average sale price $232. Average square foot price $104.42. And so what you're going to want to do here when you're looking through, you look at all the property details, get all the information. This is a, it says 2.5 bath. It doesn't have bedrooms. That's weird. All right. Does this one have bedrooms? No. Are they just not reporting bedrooms in this area? There you go. So 3-bed, 2.5 bath. This one says, oh, it was last sold for $295 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So you can go to comparables. You see there's 17 comparable properties listed here. And what you can really do here is you can dig down. So you can say, hey, I don't want anything showing in comps that's less than 3 bedrooms. And I don't want anything that's less than 2 baths because this is a 3, 2.5, right? So now you're down to 15, and I don't need anything with a, with a 3rd bath on it. And I don't necessarily need anything with a outside of a 3-bedroom. There's enough comps so I can be a little picky. So we narrow it down to 3. And what you can do is you can look at pictures. You're seeing 113 price per square foot is probably the average in this area. So this is a 3,090 square foot home. And if you scroll over, and go away. All right, so if you scroll over, this one's 3,090. It's a little bit bigger than these two, right? These are a little on the small side, but it's very accurate to this one. So what you're looking for here, but hey, these sold 372, 375. This one, I'm going to toss this comp actually, I think, because it sold. So here's what you do here. Like, you look at these photos, you see what this house looked like, right? Cool. Nice updated home. Now this one sold for $100,000 less, but it's the same bedroom size. Yeah, I don't really know why, unless when did this sell? In the last year. So this one's kind of a weird comp unless it went like off market. Public record sold. Yeah, so I don't know. That's weird that it's got 1 extra bathroom, 500 less square feet, sure, but it's $100,000 less, and these ones are almost $100,000 more. Lot sizes, yeah, age, like build. All right, anyway, that one went for way less, like way less comparatively. So I would probably toss that one just to bring comps up to around normal. Because you're going for like 144, 123, and you can see all the other details on here, but this is kind of what I look for. Price per square foot compared to bed, bath, square foot, lot size, right, and age. Kind of looking at these and then looking at photos, make sure their condition is similar. And then what you're going to do, you're going to say, hey, $134.28 per square foot. Now you'll see it says probably 373, but you always want to kind of double check this. So what I do is I take the 134.28 number that is right here, and I'm going to multiply that by the actual square footage of this house, so times. And that is what this is saying it could potentially be worth, 414. Now, obviously, you're going to want to get other opinions. You're going to want to make sure you know the area. I don't know this area at all, but that's what this does. It lets you pull tax information. It lets you pull mortgage information. Sometimes you have to pay a little extra for this info, but you can literally pull up like the warranty deed that was recorded. You can go in here and pull reports. You can pull mortgage analysis, rental analysis, cash flows. In a lot of cases, you can pull, like, here's the assessor's map for $1.50. You can pull plans. You can pull all kinds of stuff. Now, what I would like to do here is find something. There's something else I would like to show you, but I need to know. I don't know anyone off the top of my head who is in this area who owns multiple homes. So let's go with this. Let's filter. Let's this one's absentee owned, right? So this will show you. So there's a couple other things that pop up here. So you can see this was a cash sale, so arm's length. So this is probably inherited, or who knows, and it happened 2 years ago for $255, yada yada. We already went through comps. We already went through. You can see all this information and data and values and all this other cool stuff, right? But I wanted to show you this linked properties. When you click on that, it will show you every property that this person owns. Now, it's not 100% accurate. Mine shows some stuff that my registered agent owns. just because he's, listed on my properties, but this will show you the other properties this person has. And the reason this is valuable is because it will tell you if somebody owns a crap load of real estate, right? And that is really cool and really useful. So, if you're playing with like a big player who owns a bunch of absentees, or like a mom and pop who inherited something, right? Now, we're going to go ahead and clear all this info. Another thing you can do real quick, I just learned about this, is you can play with analytics over here. So you can go MLS stats. I want to know bedrooms. More bedrooms, less bedrooms. You can go to price. So you can go, let's go to 1 year growth. Anything that's like dark red has almost doubled in price. So like this area of town is booming. This area of town is booming. Over here by the Clinton Library is booming. And then out here is a little bit more stable. So that's kind of what you're looking for there. Now rental values, you can go rent for price. And you can see that this tells you like these are under $500 a month. These are over $5,000 a month. And it just kind of grows as you go out west. So this is the more expensive area of town, West Little Rock. Or you can go rent per bedroom, rent per square foot, price growth over the last 5 years, list price per square foot, estimated values per square foot. So this area right in here is pulling in a lot more value per square foot, and that's right on the river area, than some of these other areas. So a lot of analytic stuff you can play with over here. I'm going to mess around with that in my market and get to know it. I'm going to turn all that junk off. Now you can go over to here. Now I don't want to have you guys digging through all my properties, but what I want to show you is you can have different lists. So what you can do is when you see a property, right, like this one, you go to details. Now you can click save. And when you save the property, it's going to ask you what group you want to add it to. But unfortunately, it just saved it even though I didn't really want to. So that's Madison Street. So I'm going to go find that one. And I'm going to remove it. All right. Yeah. Anyway. Now, what you want to be able to do here is you want to be able to look through all these. So these are different records. So like here's a list of properties that my buddy who's a mailman has sent me. Here's a list of properties that have tax liens. And so you got to dig to pull some of this information, but you can pull information. So some of the stuff you can pull from Propstream, just to run through this real quick, is stuff like, I don't want you guys seeing contact info for people. That's not good. All right. So from Propstream, you can pull absentee with equity, owner occupied with equity, vinyl villages, like nice neighborhoods. You can go neighborhood type, ideal neighborhoods, multifamily storage. You can pull pre-probate, pre-foreclosure, vacant, liens, bankruptcy, like all kinds of stuff, right? And so that's kind of what you're looking for with the different kinds of lists. But yeah, so you can go in here to properties. You can see I've got all these. Another thing I do is when I mail someone, if they come back return to sender, I upload their information in here, and you can actually go all the way over here and you can then take them off list. So this one, you see it's on 3 different lists. I want to go ahead and take it off of the non-return to sender list. So that way, if I go to mail one of those other lists, this one will not get a letter. So that saves you money. Now, personally, I use REIsift to do this because I'm not trying to manually have to go through and remove every person, all 800 that got uploaded to return to senders. But if you take those return to senders, I can export this entire list, right? Click export, and then I can upload it to REIsift with a return to sender tag and just automatically sift all of those out before my next mailer. Because what you don't want to be doing is sending 818 people another letter after you already got returned one. I mean, that would cost me $800 and literally not get me anything, right? So totally useless. Don't be doing that. So that's your favorites. You can then save all these different marketing lists. So if you want to go, when you save like an entire list over here, like if you back out and you say, hey, I want Little Rock and I want vacant homes, you can go click and you can go add to list and then save it as Little Rock vacant homes. And if you do that, it will end up over here. And then from here, you can export, you can do whatever. So like if you're in here for apartments, you can export, you can do whatever, or you can go over here to contacts. You can go to, or you can go down to here and skip tracing. And for 12 cents a person, you can skip trace and pull phone numbers and emails. Now I've heard that Propstream's not necessarily the best skip tracer in the world, but they work for me. I've used them in the past. I've had no issues. So, you know, do your own due diligence. I'm not doing a whole lot of cold calling or texting. And then you can even send postcards straight from Propstream. So you can find a property and just say, hey, boom, I want to send out a list for these, or boom, I want to send out a list for these. And as you can see, I've done a few of those. I haven't necessarily had any luck with these, but that's just because they're not Ballpoint. And I'll be honest, Ballpoint Marketing is where it's at. That's what I use. I'll put a link down below for that. But yeah, Ballpoint's what I use for everything. I sure hope this doesn't give out too much of my information, but you'll see I don't have credits and stuff on here. So you can add a team. So I've got my acquisitions manager. I've got my executive assistant. Both have access to this. $20 a month extra for each of them. And then they can do all their stuff, which is crazy. And so I'm paying like $117 a month plus whatever, but it's like, I think it's like $97 a month plus extra people or something like that. So anyway, yeah. So this is Propstream. This is what it is. This is what it does. So the best uses for Propstream are to be able to pull list data, to be able to comp properties when you're looking to see what a property you're going to go look at is worth. Because if you don't know that, you might offer too much and buy something you don't need to. And then to be able to skip trace and add in those return to senders and stuff like that. Find linked properties. It's great. Basically think of Propstream as MLS access for investors, where you don't have to be an agent and you can literally go anywhere in the country and say, hey, I want to look at, you know, I don't know, Kailua, where I used to live in Hawaii, market. And I want to see what a house in the neighborhood that President Obama used to live in, or used to visit when he came to town, right? So President Obama used to be, I forget which one, down one of these streets in a neighborhood. So like, let's just say it's this house. I don't think it is, but you know, this one's worth $4.9 million. And hey, linked properties, this person owns, they have $68 million in loans out. So apparently they're in negative equity. I'm sure there's a reason for that somewhere, but, and you can see all their information, right? So it's great for a lot of those things, and it's not limited to a specific market, which is why, I wonder if it would pull up something that's on base. Nope, can't pull up. For those of you who are wondering, and none of you are, this right here, ooh, that was my house in Oahu. That's where I lived, with a nice view of the bay. Anyway, yeah, so that's Propstream. I hope it helped. If you got something out of this, subscribe, like the video, whatever. Again, there's a link down below. I'll put one for Propstream, REIsift, and Ballpoint Marketing, since I mentioned all of them. If you want more reviews and more full in detail how I use it, videos, let me know, and let me know what platform you'd like a review of. I'll walk you through it. I'll even show you my own lists that I'm pulling and everything, and how I'm compiling them for some of these platforms. So hope you found it useful. Have a great day.